the first team meeting, I understand, was kind of an interesting experience for everybody. What was that like?
Well, I mean, he basically told us that the days of all the Kentucky boys being there, and and the 6-foot white boys playing, all that. He said, those days are coming to an end, and we're going to make New York City our #1 recruiting state, New York, and we want to go after the best player in that state every year, and we're going to go for athletes that run and jump and play my style of basketball. And I mean, he succeeded in doing that.
What was going through your mind?
And I'm thinking, oh my God, what are we in for here? I mean, we've never been through anything like this before. I thought I was on track scholarship the first 6 months he was there instead of basketball scholarship. So I was at the track every day. But I mean, he's a great motivator, a great coach, knows the game, and does a tremendous job.
Now, did he actually? I heard he did this. I don't know. You can verify this for me now. The first team meeting, he said, "Okay, where are the rest?"
Where's the players? Where are all the players?
That is after all you guys are in the room, right?
We're all sitting there looking at him like, "This is it, Coach. I mean, this is us. What do you mean, where are all the players?" And he was like, "Well, I kind of thought we might have had a little bit more to work with here, So
you went from one system where you had 10 touches before a shot to a system where he would pull you if you didn't shoot it up.
You're wide open. You don't take the shot, you're coming out. That's my kind of coach. That's hey, I've never seen a shot I didn't like. I come in town, I'm open. So
let's go right to the Duke game. Your frame of mind before that, and I think you've hinted at it before, that you feared no one. On paper, people would say they had more talent than you.
I mean, I would never try to do anything to take away from that team, because they were #1. They were, everybody was shooting at them all year and was unable to beat them. And they were a great team. They had a lot of great players. You look at the team that they had. I mean, Christian Laettner, Grant Hill, Bobby Hurley. They're all in the NBA doing quite well now.
Yes, they are.
I mean, they had some players. And like I said it at a press conference before the game. I said we respect everybody, but we don't fear anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And we really felt that if we stuck to our game plan and executed, we knew we had to play a near perfect game, which we almost did, and they almost did. And that's a lot of people say that that's the greatest college basketball game that's ever been played, and to me that just blows my mind. But just to have been a part of that game, means a lot to me, and it's something very special.
Were you now the last shot? Where were you when Christian?
Well, I was on the far left-hand side, and I was guarding Thomas Hill, and as the ball came into Christian Laettner and he turned to shoot it, and I saw I released, and I came down, and I actually caught the ball, had the ball as it came down through the net and hit the floor. I had the ball, so I was kind of standing there thinking, oh no, no. And then when it went in, and they ran around and they said it was good, I mean, it was just kind of a numb feeling came over me, and I just fell on the floor, and it was really just a numbness. I can't explain the feeling.
What did Coach Pitino say to you guys after that game?
Well, I'll tell you, the first person that got to me was Coach Krzyzewski from Duke, and I mean, and he hugged me, and he told me, he said, there were no losers tonight. He said, no matter what anybody says, there were no losers. As a matter of fact, he came over, and that was Cable's last broadcast, and
right.
He came over, and I got to hear just a little bit of that, and it still runs Coach Hill's over me to think. But Coach K, he is nothing but class, and they won with a lot of class. But the locker room afterwards, I mean, it was kind of sad. Coach was crying, and of course all of us were crying. The underclassmen, were, because they had another shot, but all the seniors, all of us, the unforgettables so-called, we were all crying, and he was trying to get us not to cry because, saying, well, let's not base, a whole year and a whole career on 2 seconds, on one play. That's not the way it is. And then he'd break down into tears and couldn't finish, and then we'd all break down and cry again. So it was pretty tough. But, all in all, the experience, and I think it all made us all better people. And I'm not so sure, had we went on and won a national championship, if we'd have been any more popular. I know my career personally would not have been what it would have been without the fans of the state of Kentucky, because the big blue line and all of that. I mean, somebody called, they still call today and want to know if Richie's going to play. So that's one of the things. I mean,
where are those calls coming from? They're coming from Manchester.
No, I don't even think. I think they're from everywhere but Manchester. So, but it's I mean, that's really special. To know that the fans care that much about you, and I know Coach Patino and the rest of them, and Kay Wood and the rest of them probably got, hearing, is Richie going to play tonight, or, what's Richie doing, or is he going to go to the NBA or whatever, So there was a flood of calls, every night while I was there. So, I'd like to say again, use this to say thanks to those fans that supported me.